Too Many Types 2 has finally graced us with its presence, and I want to start my playthrough as soon as possible. We start 2 years after the events of Too Many Types 1 in Lily Cove City, where I introduce myself to my Mach 1 neighbor, Saf, and get my starter. I choose the Water Frog type, Strider the Froakie, and begin my journey. After a little shopping in the department store, we have our first battle with Saf as rivals. My frog is able to beat his grass cat, and I then catch Widow the Sawala, the silly bean bug, and enter Forest Tree City for our first gym battle. The difference in Winow's gym puzzle was really funny at first, but I was pretty confident going into this fight. I then was immediately beat down by our Chingling with the vibe move Astonish, which is super effective against my entire team. A couple more attempts go by, but I eventually get my team to cap and take out our Chingling with Water Pulse. The Cricket team takes out Widow, but he gets some great damage in, and Strider returns to defeat Kricketune. Her final Pokemon is Swablu, who has a fluffy type, meaning it's weak to water. The first Water Pulse does some great damage and confuses it, but I realize if Swablu doesn't hit itself with Confusion, we just lose. Thankfully, it does hit itself, letting Strider defeat it, getting us our first badge. I wanted to come up with unique badge names for all the gyms based off the type that they use, so I called this one the Karaoke badge. After the gym battle, I run into Saf, who has now reached Mach 2. We battle once again, beating his family of mice, his weed cat, and his unalive friend. After our battle with Saf, I make it to the weather station. I try to head down the path, but it's blocked by some people in some really weird uniforms, so I figured head inside the weather station to get some answers. Inside, we meet Team Purity, the new evil team running amok here, and their gimmick is they use Pokemon who don't have any of these weird types, and they only use Pokemon from, quote, the best generation, Gen 1. While battling, Strider evolves and gains the Ninja type, and we meet one of the admins of Team Purity, the Nepo Baby Justice. With his defeat, we kick Team Purity out of the weather station, and we get cut so we can continue our journey forward. Along the way, I decided we need some more hater energy on my team, so I caught Boo, the hater monkey minky. We then have one more fight with Saf before heading into the gym to challenge Watson. I figured Watson would be a really easy fight considering he uses the gamer type. If there's one thing I know about gamers is they don't take showers, so I figured this be easy sweep with Strider. I am then taught how overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer as Watson becomes something of a wall for a little bit. His Stuffle and Porygon are fine. The Porygon can sometimes get a Tri-Attack in, but it's never that big of a deal. The Sableye is a true problem. This thing is a menace to my entire team. Its Wave Dash takes out Boo and Widow, and its D's Nut takes out Strider, so I have really no answer for it that can take it out really quickly. I do attempt after attempt with seemingly no way forward, my only hope being sometimes Widow is able to live with 3 HP against Wave Dash, meaning that it eats Sableye's berry, so Strider has a better chance of taking him out. Of course, I was actually speeding through the gym battle trying new tactics when I actually got the win, and then Watson told me to go sock on these nuts, so you know what, I just hate him. I hate Watson. That's all I have to say. I hate Watson. I forgot to mention it initially, but I wanted to call Watson's badge either the Prime badge or the Esports badge. I wasn't really sure, but yeah, I forgot to mention it earlier. Okay, moving on. After that gym battle, I had one more thing I really wanted to do before I ended day 1, and that was get an Oricorio. It's one of my favorite bird Pokemon, but I've never actually used it on a team before, and I knew it could be found in Mount Chimney. So I headed up that way, learned how to use the Acrobite, beat down Justice one more time, and caught Muerte, the Oricorio, my Fire Dance bird, ending day 1. It's day 2, baby, let's go. Day 2 begins at Mount Chimney, where you run to Team Purity once again, where it seems like they're trying to pry a Team Magma device out of the ground. Screaming at all the grunts is the second admin of Team Purity, Destiny. She's going on and on about how our generation doesn't know anything about hard work. I interrupt her and she sticks her grunts on me before challenging me herself. She opens up with a Jigglypuff I take out with Lima Lash. She then sends out Nidorina. I switch to Muerte and get some good damage in, but I lose her and Boo because apparently Nidorina can learn Water Gun. I then send out Strider and try to keep him alive until he wakes up, taking out Nidorina. And her fellow Pokemon is Seal, who falls away with Squirting Flower, getting us the win. After Destiny tells me I'm not that guy, they head off to Rustboro while I head to Log Bridge to challenge Flannery. Flannery still uses the Fluffy type, and I can't tell if her gym layout was easier to get through or harder, or if it's exactly the same and I'm just stupid. I do eventually reach Flannery, and I'm actually pretty confident, which I know I've said in the past and it didn't end well for me, but this time, I have a team that I think can actually handle the Fluffy type. She opens with the Growlithe, I open with Muerte, taking out her fluffy friend with the Night Owl. Up next is her fiery cat Flareon. He takes out Muerte, so I send out Strider and take out Flareon with a Water Pulse. The same can be said for her Whimsicott, and her final Pokemon is Furfrou, who's got a fresh dew. I send out Widow to get some damage in, and then revive Muerte to defeat Furfrou, getting us the Plushy badge. With Flannery's defeat, we get the Go Goggles and head north to begin our journey to Rustboro. I get the Jaw Fossil in the desert and reach Fall Arbor Town, and I'm stopped by Saf, Akira sliding his way into a battle with me. This battle made me glad I wasn't doing a Nuzlocke because it was a stark reminder that I suck at this game. He opens up with a Maushold, and I open with Muerte, defeating Maushold with an Air Cutter. Up next is Florgado. I send out Widow, get some damage in, but then he switches to his Oricorio, and I take out his Oricorio with mine. Florgano comes back out, but Boo defeats him with Seismic Toss. His final Pokemon is his dead friend Greavyard. I send Strider back out and take him out with a Water Pulse, getting us to win after multiple attempts. With Saf's defeat, I head to Meteor Falls to find Team Purity doing something in there, I'm sure. Destiny and Justice are getting egged on by Saf, and they challenge us to a battle. Saf was truly and honestly the GOAT during this fight. His Maushold was constantly using Follow Me and Bro Out to really support me in this battle. After we defeat the two of them, they clear out of Meteor Falls and we're able to reach Rustboro City. I enter the Pokemon School to find Roxanne in a situation she's probably not paid enough for, as we see her talking to who I presume is the leader of Team Purity, about all the new types and what are pure types, and about what Arceus is teaching us, before he threatens me and leaves. Roxanne gives me strength, which is crucial for her gym, and I head inside, making my way through the new, much bigger layout. She uses a Thing type this time, and she opens with a Sylazar, who sheds their tail and switches to Knuckle Stack and defeats Strider. I send out Boo, who goes Unga Bunga on Knuckle Stack, and Boo basically goes Unga Bunga mode on Klefki and Sylazar before falling to Rotom, but he is quickly brought back to Unga Bunga once again, getting us the Trinket Badge. After beating Roxanne, I meet the president of Devonwarp, Steven Stone. He gives me a Mega Stone, the Greninjite, and I revive my Tyrant, adding Chomper, the Ancient Hater, to the team, ending day 2. It's time for day 3. We begin to make our way towards Petalburg City, entering the Petalburg Woods, and I really gotta say, it's weird to see strength puzzles in Petalburg Woods of all places. I also catch another member of the team, Honey the Applin, and I evolve him into a triplet. With our new team member, we enter Petalburg Gym and challenge Norman. Norman has decided to swap out the furry lifestyle to become a family man, and he now uses the family type. He opens up with Mama Kangaskhan, I open up with Honey. I give it Frostbite with Upset Tummy, and then take it out with Dragon Pulse. Up next is the family car, Reveru. He's no match for the Unga Bunga power of Boo, so he sends out his next Pokemon, Vaporeon. I switch to Widow, and with a Sugar Snap, take out his freaky cat. His final Pokemon, Maushold, has truly become a family guy as it Mega Evolves into Mega Maushold. While being reminded of that one time, I send out Strider and Mega Evolve him into Mega Greninja, and with a Tongue Shot, we get the Familial Badge. After the battle, Norman's wife walks in and tells him to actually become a family guy and take some vacation days to spend some time with the family. So Larry shows up to hold down the fort while they leave to talk about the family Vaporeon. I decided to take a little detour towards Littleroot because I wanted to see more of this conversation, and well, it seems that Norman might be less of a family guy and more of a Vaporeon guy, so take that as you will. And after my dive into marital problems, I began surfing my way towards Dewford Town, and it seems the rising water has not been kind to them. With nothing else to do, I evolve Boo and go challenge Brawly. There are some things that don't change in the world of Pokemon. Flying types fly, fish types swim, I guess, and my brother, Brawly, is still smelly. When I first entered this gym, I thought the mechanic was that it was so smelly that I was on a time limit before my character just passed out. It doesn't seem like that was the case, but damn, did it smell funky down there. I waft through the miasma of BO and eventually reach Brawly. Brawly opens with Legimblin, who has the dreaded move D's Nuts and one-shot Strider. I send out Muerte and Legimblin switches out with Sock. Muerte does a Revolution Dance, taking out Sock and Swalot. I then switch to Honey, and Brawly sends out Rhydon. Honey gets some good damage in with 3 cores, but Rhydon has D's Nuts and takes out Honey and Widow, and finally falls to Stampede from Chomper. Legimblin comes back out, D's Nuts. God, I've said D's Nuts way too many times. Anyway, he takes out Chomper. Boo has gained the Unalive type and Rage Fist the Legimblin. His final Pokemon is Machamp, the stinky fighting crab, who Mega Evolves into his G-Max form and Crab Hammers Boo. I send out my sleeping Muerte, take damage and heal until she wakes up, and Revolution Dance our way into getting the BO badge. Hey, welcome to day 4. Day 4 begins in Slateport with another submarine being stolen. I enter to find Team Purity and finally formally meet the leader, Constance. While the rest of Team Purity heads off to the Cave of Origin, he holds me back with a battle. Most Team Purity fights aren't exactly that big of a deal, but damn, Constance came into play. His Tauros is weak to anime and goes down pretty quickly, but his Alakazam was the problem. It had all the different punches and basically had everything it needed to sweep most of my team. The only semi-answer I had were Willow and Muerte, who could live a Psychic and do some damage to it. But I was mainly banking on a crit from Willow to take him out because Muerte was really hit or miss with actually taking out Alakazam. We do eventually defeat his Alakazam and quickly get through the rest of his team. Constance flees and we hit the Pacifilage town, which now holds the gym after Sootopolis sank. Before we can enter, I'm stopped by Saf, who challenges me to a Mach 5 battle. He opens up with his Family Guy's Maushold, and I take him out with Strider. His next Pokemon is Basculegion. He gets confused from his Outrage taking out Widow, but falls to Honey's Fickle Beam. He sends out Houndstone and it falls to Muerte's Revolution Dance. Next up is his own Oricorio, who takes out Muerte with a Hurricane. So I send out Strider and Mega Evolve him, taking him out with a Water Shuriken. His final Pokemon is Meowscarada that uses her Moon Prism power to Mega Evolve and quickly defeat Strider. So I send out Boo, and with a Stomping Tantrum, we defeat Saf. With Saf's defeat, we can enter Juan's Krabby Gym. As far as I can tell, this is a completely original gym made for this mod, and it's a real fun gimmick of positioning yourself so the currents take you to where you need to go, so you can activate more bridges to eventually reach Juan. Juan's battle begins with Armaldo. I open up with Muerte, who I had planned to sweep with and take it out with a Revolution Jams. He then sends out Kingler, and I get the brilliant idea to swap to Honey, who admittedly does get some due damage, but the giant enemy Crab defeats Honey and Muerte comes back out to sweep his entire team. Hell, the guy couldn't even Mega Evolve his Crawdont. With the Crustacean badge acquired, I then run into Constance, who then prowls on and on about purity and types, and how Terapagos is going to prove him right. He then walks off, dropping a Master Ball, because that's just something you casually drop, along the way, and I head to the Sunken Sutopolis for our final confrontation.
So yeah, Sans showed up at some point while I was heading towards the Cave of Origin, and I thought I could hit him with a Master Ball. Turns out you can't, and you have to beat him, and that was really hard, so he beat my team. I just want to talk about Sans being there for a little bit.
I enter the Cave of Origin, blasting through the Paradox Pokemon and Team Purity, and eventually reach the bottom floor for one final battle with Constance. I Mega Evolve Strider and take out his Tauros. He then sends out Alakazam, and I miss my Hollow Purple, leading to Strider's defeat. Will comes out and finally gets that crit that would have been so good the first time we fought Constance. And up next is Aerodactyl. I send out Chomper, knowing Kaiju is super effective against flying, and take out the Mega with an Earthquake, which is a really weird sentence to say. His Nidoking defeats Chomper and Boo, and Muerte comes out and take it out with a Revolution Jance, and his final Pokemon is Rhydon. It's a bit of a pain to take out with who I have available, so I revive Strider to get us the win. Even with his defeat, Terapagos begins to transform, as it shows its new form. To Constance's horror, it is composed of every single type. Too many, if you ask him. With his beliefs shattered, he disbands Team Purity and leaves me to catch Terapagos and head to Moss Deep to battle Tate and Liza. They just recently kicked Clay out, and he was definitely not happy about it, battling me to take out his rage, I guess. We defeated him pretty quickly, and I just don't feel like talking about this fight. He uses the gun type, and he can Mega Evolve his, Archelodon and became like a giant gun. That's the most interesting thing about the fight, honestly. Back to Tate and Liza, they utilize the space type, which apparently is very effective against a fuck ton of my team. I'd love to give you a true breakdown of how this fight went down, but I was losing a lot, so I was kind of just speeding through, trying different team strategies to see what could work, and eventually, they have a Luma, and I use Fickle Beam on it, and I don't know if I hit something on my controller or the Fickle Beam interacted weirdly, but it completely reset my game. So I basically had to do everything all over again. I didn't record because I was like, oh, I don't want the footage to be so long, but I could have just paused it looking back on it. And so we go through everything again. I reached Tate and Liza, and I completely forgot to record when we actually beat them. To be fair to me, not really to be fair to me, just to explain what happened. I was doing another one of my attempts to see just what would work, and suddenly everything kind of just started working out with Boo and Honey to where we beat their Luma and their Mega Metagross, getting ourselves the Orbit Badge.
So yeah, that's my bad. Sorry about that one.
Hello and welcome to the final day of the Pokemon Too Many Types 2 playthrough. We'll start the first day in Evergreen City, even though we did go to the Victory Road, but literally nothing of importance happened there, so we're gonna start here. I have one more battle before I can actually go challenge the Elite Four, and that's a battle against Saf at Mach 6. For the most part, his battle is fine. His Maushold will go down to Strider's Hop Hop. I couldn't find an amazing answer for Basculegion, so Strider stays in to defeat it. Next is his Oricorio. I counter with Muerte, who is faster, so it really comes down to his second Hurricane hitting, or hoping a confused Oricorio hits itself. He then sends out Houndstone. Luckily, I recently taught Honey Laser Beam so it can quickly take care of him. Obviously, his final Pokemon is Meowscarada. Last time Meowscarada faced us, it had Magic Missile, and Boo could resist that easily, but this time Meowscarada has Fireball, which has the Fire type attached to it, so it quickly takes out Boo if we send him in. So I decided to Mega Evolve Strider, hoping to one-hit KO with Hop Hop. Didn't work out, but we did cover Paralysis, making Widow faster than Meowscarada so we could get the win with the Wedding Cake. With Saf's defeat, we go and challenge the Elite Four and meet the first member, Meg. Meg is my first semi-wall. Her first few mons are fine. Meganium goes down to one Wedding Cake, and Felix takes out Widow but has to recharge, giving Muerte a clean kill. Next is her Aegislash. It quickly falls to Chomper, and then we run into the first problem, Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl has the Uno Reverse type, which flips the type shots on its head, making super effective, not very effective, and vice versa. My first answer was Muerte, and that does work, but we're really banking on Hurricane hitting. But I later learned Chomper is a much better option, one-shotting Grimmsnarl with Smash. Her final Pokemon is the Mega Evolved Deoxys. This thing is really scary, being the Space and Crab type. It can take care of most of my team very quickly. except for Huddy, who recently got a Mega Stone, and after Mega Evolving him, I'm able to take out Deoxys, defeating May. Up next was Mario Jumpman Mario, who was really easy. I was kind of surprised after May that I could basically one-shot his entire team with Stomping Tantrum. P. Piranha would sometimes live and hit Boo with a Wedding Cake. If that happened, we just had to hope Mega Probopass didn't hit a Zapkin. And even if he did, it wouldn't really matter because a lot of our team members could take care of Probopass. Next is Kiernan, who threw me into one of my greatest fears, actually playing competitive Pokemon. My team gets set to level 50 and he only has 4 Pokemon, but he's easily the hardest member in my opinion. My plan for him was truly just random bullshit go because I don't think I came up with a genuine strategy. The main threat is his Mega Incineroar with the ability World Champ Diff, who makes it so all of his moves hit both Pokemon. So get ready for a turn 1 fake out that hits both of your team members. Mix that with a Parasol I'm like 80% sure traps you, and you get a recipe that's just straight hell. The upside is, if you beat him, your Pokemon go back to the state they were before the fight, so if you entered that fight with full health, you're leaving that fight with full health. So that is a nice touch. With Kiernan's defeat, we have one more member to deal with before the champ, Zinnia, who, you guessed it, uses a Dragon type. Luckily for me, I have the Dragon's weakness, Anime Pro tags, and this sword I found. Her first 2 Pokemon follow Strider's domain expansion, but Hydrapple lives, taking out Strider with a peer pressure. Luckily, Hydrapple and Dragonite are both weak to Sharp and fall to X-Scissor. Her fall Pokemon is Mega Whisper, which probably could have definitely been a threat, but it falls to a Wedding Cake pretty easily, so we get a win. With the Elite Four taken care of, we have one final fight, Steven. The first time I got here, it was rough, mainly because of a bad opening against his Metagross. But with a good opening like Chomper, we can easily one-shot it. His Fluttermane is definitely scary, but it's no patch for the power of Anime, but does get some really nice damage on Strider before going down. His Archaludon comes with a Power Herb, meaning that he's gonna one-shot no matter what I throw in there. So I sacrifice Muerte so I can safely switch into Chomper and get an Earthquake off one-shotting him. His Goldangle has Bolt Beam, which feels like one of the strongest moves in this game, and it takes out Widow, but luckily Strider is faster and is able to domain expansion on him, taking him out. As Chomper falls to Melmetal, I only have 1 Pokemon left, that being the Mega Evolved Strider. And he can take out Melmetal with ease with how low its health was. But if I don't one-shot this Roaring Moon, I definitely lose. Luckily, with its typing, it's very weak to Anime, so we take it out, get the win, and become the champion of the Hoenn region once again. Hi, thank you so much for watching. This has been a really fun playthrough. God, too many types did kick my ass a lot, but I definitely still enjoyed it, and even if the Elite Four was really frustrating at first. I think Pokeduel is going to be next, so I hope you're excited for that. I'm really excited to try it out and have an excuse to use a Dragon type only run. And I'll see you there. Bye-bye. I always forget to do it on this side. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.